to another episode of Sisterhood and Sanity. I'm your host, Jessie.
And I'm Grace.
Uh,
Today's episode is going to be about
self-care.
Yeah. So, and what you're doing to nurture yourself as a mother.
Yeah, exactly. Are you nurturing yourself so you can nurture others?
Take care of those kiddos.
Yeah.
So, I guess let's just introduce the topic, of self-care for moms and why it's crucial.
Yeah, so I think just even talking about what is self-care, what do you deem self-care, right? So that can be a lot of things, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, all of those things, and everyone might not need all four, but believe it or not, if you probably are lacking in one of those areas, you're probably hindering your life in some form because you need to fulfill that part of yourself in order to be better.
Yeah, I definitely I did the poll on Instagram of people that are how many times a week do you, or a month, I forget what I did, a week I think, do you have any sort of self-care? Maybe it was in a month, I don't remember, but it just shocked me the amount of people that were one, or 2 to 3, and there was only one person that said I think 4 to 5 or something like that. So
and I guess when you talk about it, what are those things, like I said, that you deem self-care? Because a lot of times when you talk about that, people think, well, I don't ever get to take a bubble bath, and I don't get to sit and read my book, but sometimes that's not just what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I think with this back to school season, specifically for moms all over, that we can all relate, because back to school season is the biggest time for families to learn a new routine, involving, bath time, sleeping is huge.
Yeah.
And I think that that's very hard for moms, and we get trapped up in that, doing all the things for them, and then forget that we're exhausting ourselves at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, I consider my self-care, because my day in and day out is pretty much the same. But I go and get my nails done every 2 weeks. That's my one self-care thing that I do. I get a massage once a month. So those are the two self-care things that I do religiously. But I definitely feel I always feel I don't know, guilty about just doing those two things, but whenever I think about it, really, I mean, Andrew wouldn't think twice about going and doing those things, and he would not feel guilty, So
yeah, do you think though, you feel better yourself? Yeah, you feel guilty maybe before you go or whatever, but once you're done with that massage, you're dang, I'm so glad I actually went and did that.
Yeah, it's my time to decompress, especially with Blake. She just, I mean, she's a toddler, she wants to be on top of me 24/7, so I just really enjoy that time to just not have to talk, or have a toddler on top of me. I get a moment of peace.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I go and get my nails done, my nail tech and I am always why am I so tired? But it does make sense because I'm sitting down, and I don't have to be in that moment. I can't worry about cleaning the house or doing laundry or taking care of Blake. I'm just getting my nails done. So yeah, I feel exhausted because there's nothing else for me to do.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but I always do feel better afterwards. It's just I don't know, I always feel guilty going and doing something for myself, but I know I'm not a good mom if I don't do those things. That's the one thing that I do miss about working, is sometimes I feel like I was a better mom when I was working, because I wasn't constantly touched out, constantly annoyed by Blakely because we weren't always around each other, but there was obviously like things that I missed out on too. So there's trade-offs to both.
Yeah, I agree. I think that one of the main things whenever I'm thinking of self care is like, how can I help set up a routine to where I benefit and my family benefits? So, like, I think that's a big thing for moms. Like, we need to stop and think, like, what isn't working and how can I change this? Not drastically, but like, you know, myself, I get up so early to work out to have that time, for myself. That's considered part of my self care, but then I also lose out on sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do I change our schedules? My kids need to go to bed earlier, but that's hard, especially with
Yeah.
back to school. Like,
That's what we've been dealing with, is getting in that routine of going to bed early, getting up at a decent time, working in a nap and they're at a decent time to where we're going to bed early enough. It's definitely like this week I'm trying really hard to get Blake in that
yeah,
routine because she's gonna be starting school. So
yeah,
but
I think that's important for families, and no matter what, like, I think if some people don't do routine, and that's fine,
yeah.
but I think, like, overall, like, your kids being rested and you being rested, your mind is going to be so much better. Like, when I am already still in back to school, so like, I'm tired 24/7 because I just do not sleep very well. But like, we need to get in a better routine to where I feel like I can be me, and be with it, to where those little things of moments of overwhelm don't become so big.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like self-care is like the thing, like it's essential to be a good mom. Like, when you're on the airplane and they're going over everything and then they're talking about like you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself before you think about helping somebody
Yep.
else. That's exactly how I look at like self-care. Like, I know that if I'm not eating, if I'm not sleeping, if I'm not taking care of myself, then how am I supposed to
Take care of
take care
them.
of others
Yeah.
in a good, like, way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like I'm exhausted, I'm annoyed,
Yes.
lashing out way.
Yes.
So I don't know. I feel like um, you know, we get very consumed in just being a mom
Mm-hmm.
or just being a wife, and we always forget that like we have to also like be good to ourselves. We're only going to get one body. We're we have to nurture ourselves too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
um
Yeah, I think, like, um it ties into our episode from last week of burnout,
mhm.
because when you are not taking care and nurturing yourself, then you're gonna be burnout a lot quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was just one of the things, like losing your identity in motherhood, losing your identity of like, you're the working mom, you're the stay-at-home mom, and trying to find your role and who you are.
And it's easy, like I always say, like, it's easy to get, like, lost in the sauce.
Oh,
Like,
100%. Like, there's been times where I was like, who am I? Like, and what am I doing? This is not me. Um, and then I have to like backtrack. Okay, how did I get here? And like, where do I want to go? I guess like,
you need to find your purpose.
yeah.
We had just had a convocation of this, and it's called Steered Straight. It's like, you have to look into it, but for our whole high school, and the main focus for him was to find your purpose. Like,
Yeah.
when and your purpose might change, but if you don't have something that you are trying to
I definitely think that it
reach
changes
towards,
over time.
yes, and
Like, where I'm
so
at right now will not always be where, like, when my kids are grown and away, like, I will have another purpose in life.
yeah,
Like, my purpose
sure.
is not just being a mom.
But I also think you have to have one separate. So yes, I want to be a great mom, but like, our kids are getting older. So like, for me now, it's like, okay, I can transition of like, I want to be that fitness and nutrition
Mm-hmm.
specialist that people can come to that I've wanted to do, my
Yeah.
entire life. And just finding that goal and pushing towards that goal and still help out, my students at school. And how do I fit in fitness and nutrition? But finding that purpose, it gives you something to like go towards,
Yeah.
not just like feeling like, oh, okay, here's another day.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel like I'm stuck in that, like, I don't know what my purpose is going to be.
But
Like,
I think like even doing this, like
yeah,
this is giving you
something to look forward
something to
to.
look forward to,
Yeah.
something to do, and like
I definitely know, like, I mean, eventually we would probably have another child. I mean, we're very content with Blakely, but that's what's kind of like holding me up is like, if we're going to have another kid, I don't want to get started in something and then not be able to finish it, or take on a job and then not be able to work because I have another kid at home, you know. And it would be different if we lived in like a city where childcare was just like,
yeah,
whatever, but like unfortunately that's not where we live. So um you know, I just don't want to like bite off more than I can chew. And so that's been very hard for me because I've always been very career driven.
mm-hmm.
So,
And I think for you, like obviously, um, social media, I think that something down that line would be good for you. But I think for anyone, as we're talking about this, one main thing that I want to start doing myself is journaling, because I think that that opens up your mind and allows you to write down all those thoughts that are in your head.
yeah, I journal.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
I do it whenever, especially if I'm going through a really, really tough time. It helps me organize like my thoughts and feelings and what is perception, what's reality. It also helps me. I'm not good at like talking about my emotions, and I mean, I go to therapy, but it helps because I just don't like to speak about things that hurt me or what I'm going through. And so sometimes it's easier just to write it down on a piece of paper and then like burn it, throw it away,
for
like
sure, for sure,
leave it there, let
for
it
sure.
go. It's not
And
serving you.
I was gonna say, and sometimes like that's just all you need to like write it down and then think like, okay, that was kind of like not as big as I thought it was.
No, literally, I had one time where like I was so irate and like I wrote down like probably the most awful things that I could probably say about someone that made me so mad. But then I was like, afterwards, I was like, wow, that was so stupid that I wasted so much time and energy thinking about it when I could have just wrote it down the moment that it happened and let it go. But instead, I let it fester for a week in the back of my head, and then it became something so big. But that's what I'm saying, like the perception versus reality. So, like, the moment something now happens to me, I try to journal it or schedule an appointment with my therapist. Like, I mean, you know, this last week was extremely hard for me. Talk to my therapist like this week because I was like, no, I'm not gonna sit here and keep like festering on things. But I feel like that's also like my self-care thing. Like, I know for my mental health, I know for my personality type, like if I sit there and dwell on something, it's going to be a huge deal.
Eat you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sure. I can't let things go. And I'm the type of person that I will go like I'm going back. Like I'm replaying every situation, every scenario in my
You're
head.
overthinking.
Thinking, why am I so stupid? You know what I mean? Like the red flags were flying and I'm just like completely ignoring them, oblivious, but like I can't do that because then I sit there and I'm like, wow, I really did look like the idiot this whole time. Like so stupid. But I mean, that's just part of it of life. I mean, there's going to be scenarios where you want to think the best.
But I also think like that's just part of like you have to go through something in order to grow.
So,
like,
100%. I mean,
those situations and those times, like, yeah, it sucks. But then you'll look back and be like, thank goodness that happened to me, because then I'm a better person for it.
Yeah.
You know?
I just think like that's part of self-care too. I mean, I don't think that you have to like if you don't categorize like therapy, like you can say that is my self-care time. That is, or journaling. That is my time that I get to break it down, see, put all my feelings, and no one can read it. You know what I mean? Like, write a letter to someone that you cannot stand. You know what I mean? And then you could just throw it away, burn it. You don't have to send it, obviously, but that gets all your emotions out on a piece of paper and you're done.
For sure. For sure. I think now that we've kind of been all over the place, we can talk about like the types of self-care specific, because I think like breaking it down for people to actually like analyze and think, okay, physically am I helping myself, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? So like physical wise, like, we already talked about sleep, so those sleep habits, and maybe it's different for everybody, especially in different ages,
Yeah, I mean, I
stages
think
of
it's
life.
also your personality.
For sure.
For me, I am not a morning person. I am a night owl and I'd rather sleep in. And I have tried so many times to change that about myself by like going to bed early and then trying to get up early. It just is very hard for me and my who I am. I don't know. I'd rather that time at night when Blake's asleep, I get that time to watch a movie or chat it up with Andrew. So that is hard. So I think that does depend on who you are and your personality type, because like you and Damon are complete opposites. So and Andrew, I mean, he can stay up late and get up early and it does not bother him.
Yep. I think that's just, again, what works for you, and you're able to do that, so do it. I think exercising is a big one, and we touched on that.
I have to exercise. I am not a nice person.
But I also think it's not just like, you don't have to do like a hardcore strength.
Walk on the treadmill.
Yeah. Or just go on a walk.
Go on a walk.
Yeah.
Walk on the treadmill. Ride your bike. Like, I'm always telling people like that are like, oh, I can't believe that you work out every day. One, I wouldn't say that I work out every day. Like, I take a day off to rest, whether it's resting and I just literally sit on the couch and veg out, or I might just walk on the treadmill at a very slow pace and just relax that way. But don't go hard. Like, if you don't want to commit to working out every single day, don't. Do it 3 times a week. And you don't have to go all out. Just walk on the treadmill. Do a mile. That's better than nothing. Like, that's still an improvement. Like, you don't have to be crazy about working out. And I feel like that's where people get caught up in like, oh, I'm not doing enough. And it's like, no, you did more than what you were doing.
Well, and just like the fact of moving your body in general, so that's good for your whole body.
Yeah.
So, and mentally it'll be good. So I think that like nobody says, sometimes if I'm like, hey, like I like to work out, I hate working out, but it's like, yeah, but you still walk all day. So you are still getting exercise.
You're moving your body.
You're not sitting like a couch potato, right? Yeah. Like,
I love working out personally. But like there was a time, like probably 2 years ago, like through high school, I did not love working out. Like, I thought of it as like a chore. Now I thoroughly enjoy working out. Like, sometimes, I'm like, I don't want to do my workout today. Like, it's just not what I want to do. And sometimes on those days, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to do legs, but I can do something else. I can do like a short ab circuit and then walk on the treadmill for a little bit, and that's my workout, and that's fine. I'm listening to my body and what my body wants me to do. So like for those that are wanting to get into working out and don't know where to start, I really think like smaller the better, because you want to maintain whatever you're doing.
You don't want to set a goal that's so unrealistic
that you're gonna fail.
Yeah,
like, and then you don't want to do it because you failed.
Yeah. So I think get up, come up with a plan, right? We said journaling, and then a big one for physical, and I think a lot of us don't think of it this way, but it's coming back around and trending is nutrition. So like
This one's
again,
really hard for me.
that is one that like
Yeah.
most of the time whenever I would train somebody,
Yeah, it's 80% what you're eating.
yes,
80%.
yes,
20% is like from
yeah,
activity.
yeah,
But I do not think people realize that. Like
mm-hmm,
80% is what you're
mm-hmm,
eating. And I am at fault. Like I do not fuel my body I'm much better now than I ever have been, but like I am not
mm-hmm.
a good example of that. I skip meals, like it's not good, but
But
I
I think
try to do
I
better.
was gonna say, and like little things like that, not just like, you know, the foods, obviously you want to try to eat, stuff that's going to fulfill the needs of your
Right.
body. So, like getting those nutrients in. But if you are struggling with that period and maybe it's not in your budget, because I mean, healthy food's
So
expensive.
expensive.
I would suggest, Aldi's, but also like the Walmart, like shopping, like you could set it in your cart, see how much it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But also, that's where you can add in, your vitamins. Are you getting nutrients, especially if you're in your 30s
Yeah.
and you've had kids?
Yeah.
Like your
I think
body
after you have
tremendously.
kids,
Yeah.
no matter what your age is, I would definitely like look at your vitamins.
Mhm.
I can tell um like I have to take magnesium. I've never had to take
Mhm.
magnesium my entire life until after I had Blakely, and I was having like horrific headaches
Mhm.
and my body literally hurt, which that's part of just me in general, but since taking magnesium I feel so much better.
Mhm.
And like I cannot not take it.
Mhm.
Like I know if I haven't taken
Mhm.
it cuz I'm going to have a headache the next day. So like I feel like talking to your doctor too and just letting them know like after you have a kid, like here's some symptoms I'm having, just run it by them. They may be like, oh, that's normal. I know mine was like, well, you're only a year postpartum, so let's give it another year and see what your body is like. um but I would definitely like talk to your doctor because not all of your symptoms after having a kid are going to be normal. And maybe they are, maybe they're not. So I would always consult with your doctor and see if you should be taking like, obviously you should be taking a multivitamin. Highly recommend magnesium. And also um another thing is a lot of our foods do not have the salt
Mhm.
that we need. Like I've had to up my salt intake because my sodium was actually low
Mhm.
after having Blakely. Um, and so, yeah, I put salt in my water.
Mhm.
And now, which growing up, we never used really like salt and pepper. You think about it,
Mm-mm.
like,
We didn't have salt and pepper really. I
no.
mean, for our meals, I mean, grandma and grandpa did.
Mhm.
But
We never used them because we
no,
never used them at home.
no.
So, like, when Andrew and I got together and he was
Yeah.
constantly salting and peppering and stuff, I was like, please stop.
Yeah.
Like, I do not like it like that. I like it plain. But now I've started to use like more spices and stuff, and I've started using way more salt to help
Yeah.
with
I
that.
think that's where like, and I hope my kids, like I already kind of voiced to them different things like that's good for you to eat,
Yeah, Quinn told me that the brownies aren't good for me.
Yeah. So like I'll say
I
like
was
that's
like,
not a healthy
well,
food, and it's not like, and I mean you guys can shame me, I don't care, but like for myself growing up I didn't know,
yeah, no.
and I was so hard on myself, and trying to learn myself like what was nutritious and good for me, and I want my kids to already kind of have that mindset.
Well, yeah,
Like
when
it's
you're
not like I
not,
don't let my kids eat junk. They eat junk for sure. But like that food's not really good for you and you're going to be hungry in 30 minutes. So
yeah,
like
I
let's try to
usually
actually
say,
eat
let's
something.
eat something, and then if you're still hungry, then you can have a snack.
Yeah.
If you want a piece of candy, then you have to eat this amount of food
Mhm.
before you can have the candy.
Mhm.
Um, because I want her to have obviously a well
Mhm.
balanced diet, but I'm more concerned about the nutrients that she's getting and like her vitamin levels and
For
stuff
sure.
like that. But like I didn't even know until I was an adult. Like
Mhm.
no, and now like obviously now we know more about like pre-processed foods and stuff, but like that is probably, I mean, genetics play a role too, but I'm like very convinced that that is why I have autoimmune conditions, is
Yes.
from my the pre-processed foods that we ate growing up.
Well, so anything like GMO, which anything in a box, unless it's like legit, you can read the ingredients and you know it's wholesome. Anything that's like synthetic, micronized, anything like that, your body, yes, you're eating it, but your brain is not going to process that is a good food. And then it's like you have brain fog, you're tired, you have weight gain. And I think a big thing that we're noticing from it is that lymphatic drainage, that's like big right now. Like all that's due to stuff that you're putting into your body.
Yeah.
And so how do you reverse that? And we've had so much of like high cortisol, you see that everywhere, right? As women, it's the stuff that we're also putting into our bodies.
Yeah. It's very hard though, because even our crops are
everything.
They are
everything
engineered.
Yeah.
So like unless you're doing organic, and even organic you have to watch out for. I went down this entire rabbit hole, and basically what it boiled down to is I wasn't going to be able to eat because everything is genetically modified, even your organic stuff. And it was like I was going to Whole Foods once a month just to get stuff that I could eat. But I was like, this is not sustainable. Like, I'm just going to have to eat what is at the store that is local for me. And obviously, like, if I pass a farmer's market, I would be more inclined to go there than the grocery store.
Yeah, but we don't have that produce. As far as, like,
no.
Around us.
You have to find different things,
but I guess
avenues.
Like I don't want to steer people away from the grocery store.
No,
I'm saying like if you can choose to eat more protein and actual like chicken, hamburger.
Yeah, and I would recommend getting like, if you can, get your ground beef from like a farm, like get your beef from a farmer that's local and have it processed that way. Because you're not having the preservatives that they're putting in the stuff at the store. I switched my chicken to
Purdue.
Well, I don't like frozen chicken, but I switched to Simply Truth or something like that. It's an organic.
Simple Truth.
Yeah, it's
from Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cage free.
No antibiotics.
Yeah. So I switched to that.
But just like little switches. So like, maybe you love Oreos. All right, cool. So maybe you
have you ever tried the gluten-free ones though?
Yeah, so they maybe you try that.
Better than the regular Oreos.
Or like, can you find an alternative or still eat a Oreo with, your Cool Whip and maybe some a crushed up Oreo on top. Finding those little things, and like obviously everything, like you said, something has
There's
been
a girl
added.
On TikTok that she creates meal plans that are for like people that trying to lose weight or like working out, fueling your body. And she has macros, everything in it. And I would highly suggest our viewers that are moms that need something quick, easy. She has cookbooks. It's like Michaela something on TikTok. If I can find her, I'll get it to Jessie so that way she can tag. But I bought 3 of her cookbooks, and we live religiously by
3?
them.
Oh, okay. You have to let me see them.
Yeah, they're really good. Jackie has one of them too.
Okay.
They're really, really good. It's always like fast. She has meal planning. She even has desserts that she makes that are like high protein desserts.
But you can also, like, if you don't have the money for that, like, you can find anything on Pinterest, TikTok. There's so much now out there that you don't have to buy.
Yeah.
It's already out there for you. So if you just search, and like I said, just those little tweaks. Maybe you add in a vegetable, in your guys' supper. Take away that fast food. Fast food is horrible.
Yeah.
But I think that's also like, you have to do what is good for you and your family.
Yeah, whatever you guys can do.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about physical, probably went overboard, but that's like my absolute favorite one to focus on. Mental, managing stress, I need that. So if someone has tips on that, send them my way, because stress gets to me in 2 seconds. Like this week, I thought I had facial paralysis because my lip was not moving, and then my ears started to ring because I was so stressed.
Yeah. I have the worst physical, like, I have, like, when I get stressed,
Yeah.
physically,
Yeah.
I become so unwell.
Yeah. Yeah.
It literally, it's like it comes out of my pores, the stress. Like, my
Yeah.
face has broke out this week.
Yeah.
My hair was literally falling out in clumps. I don't know if you've noticed, but I had to go chop it because my hair was literally falling out of my freaking head.
Yeah.
I have been a wreck. But, you know, I will say that mentally, like, I would suggest therapy, even if you don't think you need it, just some talk therapy. I use BetterHelp. You can you can do message therapy, so you don't even have to talk. Like, you can literally text. They have like the FaceTime and like the video call and just regular call too. Those are two options. So I would highly suggest doing something like that.
Or finding just a person that you feel like, from that guy that came, he's like, you need 5 people that you can depend on, that you feel like you can go to.
Yeah.
And those 5 people you should be able to come to and talk to if you're going through something.
Yeah.
So like, I don't like to talk to people either, but about my feelings, and that's where I want to start journaling. But I do need to think about those 5 people that, like, if I'm upset, I feel confident that I could call them and be like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, and them just listen.
Yeah.
And not judge. So maybe for those of you mentally, like, we're all, it's just a time of stress because of the world we live in, but like, find your people and, let them know that they're your people. Hey, I just want you to know, like, I thank you for being here for me, and if I'm going through something, I know that I can lean on you. And so, because if you don't and you just bottle everything up, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, you'll look like me.
But I think that takes us to emotional. So like, emotionally, you need to connect with your people. Not everyone has to be your people, and you'll learn that in whatever stage of life. And our viewers, hopefully, I think, of all ages. So find those people that make you happy and allow you to be yourself. Because I know myself, I'm very quiet and reserved around people that I do not know or feel confident and comfortable with. But my family, I can be me. And even though they might say something back, like, okay, whatever, but like, I know I can still be myself.
Yeah, I definitely think like mine is my family more than anyone, and my husband. But that's normal. Like, especially if you have siblings, lean into your siblings, because I guarantee you that they have either gone through it or will go through it.
And then lastly, as far as types go, before we talk about like realistically, like what's gonna probably be your roadblocks, is spiritually, like finding your purpose. You don't have to, believe in God, but spiritually, I feel like you still have to figure out what is going to bring you happiness. Because if you wake up every day without a purpose, you're going to be miserable.
Oh, 100%.
And to wake up to have that joy, and like, spiritually myself, like believing in God, that's got me through everything that I struggled with in life and any moment of my life. And I don't know how it would be without it.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I'm going through a tough time, like, I'm like praying, like, please just get me through this. Like, it's going to be fine. I've gone through worse, but please, like, be with me. Let's get through this.
Yeah. And in the moment, like, you might not feel like that's there, but then when you look back, you'll be like, wow. Like,
yeah, there's like
God was there in those moments when I had no idea.
Yeah. So whatever you believe in, I mean, I would definitely lean into that, especially if you're going through a hard time. It definitely helps me or both of us. So even if you're not into like faith and religion, you can always like meditate, spend time outside, and do like your quiet reflection. If
I was
that's
gonna
like
say, and I was gonna say, like, I'm a big like nonfiction girly, but I like affirmations, like that. To me, I just started doing that. So I used to do like a Duolingo, and I do that because it's just something that's like weird in my routine. But I like affirmations to read first thing when I wake up in the morning. I don't need my phone because I'm going to use it to work out, right? And I don't need to scroll social media. But I have a book with affirmations of every single day. It's a new one. And as soon as I wake up, my feet hit the floor and I go to take my pre workout, I read my affirmation because that starts off my day in a positive mindset versus if I have nothing and I open up that social media and all I see is doom and gloom, that's going to set my mood for the day. So I think if you can lean into something like that, those affirmations, it doesn't have to be scripture, but you can find that anywhere too. Like you don't have to buy a book. You can, there's apps for that, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. So I like Pinterest, but that's because I'm older. But I would suggest that 100% to add into your routine when you wake up in the morning because all of us could benefit from it. All right. So realistically though, let's talk about like why these things don't happen because we're talking about all these like, oh, this is easy, like get more sleep, whatever, get better food. But like boundaries that normally set us back or time, we're like, yeah, heck no. I don't have time to do this. I'm already busy, busy, busy. I'm one of those people. I literally, as a teacher, some teachers, I feel like they are so good at managing and doing this, that. And I'm over here like, yeah, I hadn't checked my email today. So, because I'm literally running around with my head cut off.
Well,
and maybe that's
like
just
literally
me.
When people are like, oh, you haven't texted me. I haven't heard from you in forever. I'm not sitting on my phone.
No.
Just being like,
nah.
Like today I literally cleaned this entire house. I did 4 loads of laundry and took care of my daughter. So no, I was not sitting on my phone.
But didn't you feel so much better though doing that?
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Like all summer, that's what I've been busy, like doing something every single day. So like, no, I'm not texting people. Like you were like, why are you so short? I'm not sitting on my phone. Like when I'm responding, I'm literally like, okay, like good, love you, bye. Like that's it. If it's an emergency, you'll call. Like I don't know what else to say about it, but like I'm not the type of person that sits there and really
analyzes things like that.
Analyzes texting people.
Yes. Yeah.
Like no, whenever I send a text, I literally look, read the text, and send whatever comes to mind.
Yeah.
I'm not like sitting there like, oh, should I send that? Should I not send that? Does that sound? No, that's not me. I'm like, whatever.
Well, that's definitely me. But
you like it or you don't. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, but I think that that's fine. I think that time-wise, like what helps me, and I need to do better about it sometimes, especially back to school season, I will be better about it next year, is writing down your to-do list. Like I do a to-do list every day, but I think that I need to do better about setting it up already before like it gets started. Like get a routine figured out, like an idea, right? It's not going to go as planned, but like, hey, this is what I think we should do, and I think that just helps like calm your mind and slow it down to where you're not thinking of 16 things at once and then forget something. So I would suggest that for time boundaries financially, I think that like we talked about, there's so many self-care things like, cleaning and organizing, that is part of my self-care too. That makes me feel better at the end of the day when my house is
it's clean and smells good.
Well, so I was gonna say this at the end, like a poll for this, and our viewers, I would love for you to comment. But would you rather have a clean or a tidy home? Because I was looking at an influencer and she was talking about
or a tidy.
Yeah, so like so clean is like you've wiped down every single crevice, every wall, no dirt. Tidy, it's like my house looks clean and put away, but there's probably stuff that needs organized. And to me, obviously you want both, right? But like we clean our home, but we don't deep clean our home 24/7.
Not 24/7.
Like I want my house to look tidy. That's going to make me feel better. And obviously it's not like dirty, but not like but it's clean, not like, clean.
Like I do like a section of the house, wipe down the walls, like I try to do a rotation. So I'm like, okay, I did this. The dogs area always gets the walls wiped down. I bleach the floors. Like, I'm doing all the things because it's dirty. But like the hallway where the kids run their hands, I wipe that down probably once a month. I go through and I use like, I bought a thing that's like a wall cleaner, and I do that. But I don't always do that in like our bedroom because no one goes in there except Andrew and I. We're not rubbing cars down the side of the wall. You know what I mean? But like, I try to stay on a rotation of like, okay, wipe here, wipe there, but it's not all getting
But
done
you get what I
every
mean,
single
though.
time.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel better when I come home and I feel like there's not a bunch of clutter.
Yeah, I mean, I always have a mess going on, but we're home 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I used to work, I was talking to Andrew about this. I was like, how was it that whenever I was working, the house was always seemed so clean. How did we keep it clean? He's like, because we weren't home to live in it, And now it's like I clean up one mess and another mess is starting as I'm cleaning that one up, which I'm happy that I have a healthy kid that is making messes. So, but it is just like the difference of like, I literally tidy and clean all day long.
Mhm.
That's my entire routine is
for
cleaning
sure.
and tidying.
For sure.
But we do have the routine at night. We pick up, we organize, so we're set up for success for the next day. So that's not like the first thing I have to do. And if it doesn't happen that night, then I do it in the morning. But I try to pick up the million blankets that Blake's ripped off the couch, shoes that Andrew took off at the couch, you know, all of our dishes always get done every night because that is my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, I
I
absolutely
think that it's
cannot
from
stand
like
it.
whenever we were little
Yeah.
and there was so
Yeah,
many dishes.
yeah, I cannot do a dirty sink.
I do not like. There's dishes in my sink right now, but they will be done before I go to bed. That's a non-negotiable.
That's
for
why
me.
I do like a dishwasher now. Like, it's
Yeah, you
so
can just
helpful.
shove it in right before you go to
Yeah.
bed, and you're
Start
done.
it. Yep.
You're done.
Yeah.
Like, that is the one thing I'm like, I do not mess around when it comes to dirty dishes in the sink. Like, they're fine there during the day, but the moment right before we go to bed, all those dishes will be in the dishwasher. Like, I'm not playing around. That's a
I feel like I
non-negotiable.
need a bigger dishwasher, but
I mean,
new
I feel
home,
like it's
but
like
we'll just
average
like
size. I don't know. It seems normal.
I need
to
the
me.
extra large. All right, so I think boundaries of time, financial, mom guilt. We already did a whole episode on that, but I think how do you keep from shutting down because of those boundaries? I think like finding those micro moments of self-care. So like I said, me with those affirmations, that I just
in your morning routine. You
yeah,
get up in the morning,
yes,
and work out.
yes.
Mine is I do work out during the day with Blakely because most of the time she's up before I am.
Yeah.
But she's an early riser. I stay up that extra hour after she goes to bed so I get a moment to myself.
Yeah.
And I work out during the day. Like, when Blake is like getting ready to eat lunch, I usually get her lunch, get a movie on, and then I go work out. Half the time she ends up in the gym with me and she's wilding out, but that's okay too. Like, I actually love it when she's in there because I know that she's getting a peek into what self-care is, and it's I care about my body, and I care about being a strong person, so
yeah, for her, of course. So finding those micro moments, and again, that's up to you and what you are deciding to do for yourself to better yourself as a mom. And then one I said on here was to say no and protect your time. So we know every day we only have so much time. So like, if it's not fulfilling me and my family for me to go do that, I'm going to say no. And so just remembering that in the back of your mind, because if it's going to stress you out and in the long run it's not benefiting you, you don't need to say yes to everything.
Yeah.
Because it'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely learned that. I mean, even just this week. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to put yourself first, put your family first, and just be okay with that, you know. And if people can't respect and appreciate, then that sucks.
Yeah, too bad, so sad, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that wraps up our episode. Yep. Next week.
Are we gonna talk about our funny thing that happened?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. What do you have something?
I mean, I always have something.
Well, I'll talk about one because like so we went to Golf Up.
Oh yeah.
So fun in Kokomo. It's like what is that one called?
Top Golf.
Top Golf. It's like that, but it's
local.
I feel like it's better.
I don't know.
I've never been to a Top Golf, but I feel like it's still like small, so it's not this huge place.
Yeah. It wasn't like super overwhelming. Like
no.
I mean, I am like not good socially, obviously, and so like it was fine for me though because there wasn't like hundreds of people. Yeah. So it was good.
So we went to that in Kokomo, and we were doing this TikTok trend of like you hit this golf ball off of somebody's butt without the tee or whatever. And my husband did that to me, and I thought I had a hematoma on my butt cheek. Not joking. And it hurt so bad, and that sucker looks bad.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I have a bruise like probably this size.
I know. I told you. Because whenever I fell in the pool, mine was like that, and everyone was like, "Oh, you at Renly's birthday, go down the slide." And I was like, "I don't think you guys understand that I'm physically so unwell from that that I was in so much pain. I thought I broke my hip. So, no, like it's. I know what you're saying though. That pain, it's such a deep bruise. Yeah, it literally feels like it's like hurts, so far deep into your butt cheek. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I don't know as far as like funny, we've been still like in the thick of things with moving, and I don't the girls, it's like a big transition with school. Oh yeah. So like it has just been a whirlwind. But my kids always keep me on my toes. Always. So
yeah, Blake is I'm trying to think. I mean, yesterday it wasn't a funny moment, but it's definitely a sweet moment. I would say I was filling out paperwork for her school or whatever, and I'm sitting in the kitchen. Andrew's in the shower because we have to go to her open house or whatever, and she was like hiding, and all I hear sounds like a cat scratching, and I'm like, it's weird, we don't have cats. So I like walk out here, and she had taken a pin and was crucifying the couch. And I was like, obviously, very upset because we have a fabric couch. This is literally our couch. So I'm like, perfect. We need to be leaving in 30 minutes, and now my couch looks like that. So yeah, so in the moment I did yell at her, and then she's crying, and I'm like, whatever, you go cry. I still gotta fill out this paperwork. Well, she goes into Andrew because she always goes to her dad to make things better. And he was like, Blake, you need to go tell mommy you're sorry that you drew on the couch because obviously I'm going to be the one that has to clean it. So she comes out and she was like, Mommy, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I was like, it was so sweet. But in the moment, I was like, I felt bad for yelling at her because I knew I should have reacted like that. But also, like, I was just like, gosh dang it. So I spent an hour today cleaning the couch, and you can still see the pin. So if anyone has any suggestions, I would greatly appreciate it. But also, I jumped over the robo vacuum this last Saturday, and my feet went in the air, and I landed on my butt. And then Blake went in and told Andrew that I landed on my butthole. So that was good.
I mean, you kind of did.
She was like, well, Andrew heard me fall, obviously. Like, the floor was wet from the vacuum. And I tried to jump over it so, like, it wouldn't stop or whatever. Because I didn't want to get it all confused. And then my foot slid, and I went up. And then I landed on my butt. And then Andrew was like, go check on mom and make sure she's okay. Because he was in the shower. Always stuff happens when he's in the shower. And Blake comes running out and she's like, Mom, you all right? And I'm like, yeah, I just landed on my butt. And then she runs into Andrew. Mom landed on her butthole.
That is great.
I was like, Blake, you could not be saying butthole.
Well, could be worse, I guess.
Yeah, it could be cussing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Sisterhood and Sanity. Please follow, like, and subscribe, and tell people about us because we want to spread the word and help people, help moms in general. So,
yep. And we will talk to you next week.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.